What up, folk? The Cretin back in the kitchen, but tonight is not a cooking one. Tonight I am going to share the tale of what happened 2 days ago on January 10th, 2025. But before that, I am going to actually start a pot of tea for tomorrow, since tomorrow is a work day. I like to take tea with me to work, tea or water. I like to start the week out with tea, and then as it phases out, go into water. So let me get the tea started, and I'll share with you the tale of my first colonoscopy. This is for anyone who needs to get one done, has been suggested or they referred they need to have one done, but they are concerned or cautious or apprehensive or just even scared of having it done. It's not a scary thing. I'm going to walk you through how mine went. Get the tea started first. We'll get that shit going. The picture here, you put the water up to here. Just good old-fashioned tap water. You don't need to use the fancy shit. I like to go just below the fill line because this likes to dribble out a little bit on the counter. If I just go a little below it, I don't got to deal with the extra dribble. And as an older man, I know all about the extra dribble. No matter how many times you shake it, there's still more. It's bullshit. Water into the machine here. Close that down. Get the ice. Ice goes up to this line. My hands are clean. I just went to the bathroom and washed the shit out of them. Not literally. I don't stick my hand in my asshole, but if I were to, I'd wash the shit out of them. I haven't dropped one. That's fucking amazing. Ninja fucking clutch. Suck my balls. Alright. And to that, we have where the tea actually goes. Red Diamond. That's the shit. I only use 2 because that comes out potent. Enough caffeine to floor an elephant. Get the lid on. Fucker. Under there. Under there. Plug this fucker in. Like I said, it's not a cooking video, so I'm not going to walk you through every goddamn detail of making tea in a tea maker. Go find a different video for that. Plug it in, turn it on. And see, now I have a reason to be in the kitchen. Otherwise, I had no reason to be in the kitchen. Excuse me. Well, like I said, now I'm going to walk you through a colonoscopy. Getting it arranged the day of and after. For anyone who probably needs to have one done, but they are on the fence. Oh, they're going to put a camera in my butt. Yes, they're going to put a camera in. Yes, they will put a camera in your butt. But, little secret here, you'll be asleep. To start the story, we're going to have to go back. This was early November. I had my yearly checkup at my regular doctor. And they asked, had I had my colonoscopy yet? And 2 years ago, they tried to schedule me for one, but one of my sons had a major surgery, so I had to postpone that. Then the year after, my other son Right about the time I was going to have one scheduled and do it, broke his arm. So I had to push it back again. But this year, thanks to the good grace of the Lord and my kids not breaking shit and fucking up, thank you, I actually got to schedule my colonoscopy. So at my yearly checkup, they asked me, do you want us to contact the endoscopy place and have them call you and set it up? And I was like, yeah, do that. That's great, do that. That was early November. Skip forward to early January 2025. I hadn't heard shit from the endoscopy place, and I kind of forgotten about it myself altogether. And then 2 weeks ago, the phone rings and I look down, caller ID, Wichita Endoscopy Center. I was like, oh, that's probably the fucking colonoscopy. Clicked it on. What up? Would you like to schedule a colonoscopy? I said, yeah. You take my insurance? Yes, they do. All right. Well, do you have a Friday, preferably? Yes, we do. Next week. I was like, whoa, shit, that's quick. Hey, yeah, set that shit up. 1 week, that's all I need. And then they said, we're going to send out, I don't know why I have a fucking fake phone here. We're going to send out a packet to you. It's going to have the instructions of what to do prior, and it's going to have a prescription that you take to whatever pharmacy you use, and you give it to them, and they're going to give you basically a colon flush that's going to get all the shit and all the doo-doo and the badness and the evil and the juju and the fucking voodoo out of you. So when you come in here and we put the camera in your asshole, we're not going to be on the chocolate river of fucking the Wonka factory. It's going to be a nice, it's going to look like the inside of a fucking menudo, which it does. I'll pull the pictures out in a little bit. I'll probably hold them back here because I don't know how close I can get them without having somebody puke or faint or me getting fucking taken out. Taken down. Not taken out. They're not going to kill me for it. But anyway, so they said we're going to send you this shit out. Next week they send it out. I get it. I open it up. I get the prescription. I take it to my local Walgreens, which if you don't have a Walgreens in your area, it's like a CVS or whatever national chain pharmacy you might have in your area. Or if you got a mom and pop pharmacy still that has their shit together or doesn't keep fucking up, because Walgreens, at least mine, goddamn near dropped the ball. We'll get to that. I'm still holding the prescription over here too. Jesus Christ. Nonetheless, I get the damn envelope in the mail. I get the prescription, go to the Walgreens, turn it in, and the lady behind the counter says, would you like to come back in an hour or two and pick your prescription up? I'm like, no, I need it for Thursday night. This is Tuesday. I need it by Thursday. Cool in the gang. I'll come get it after work tomorrow. It's not a problem. There's no hurry. Excuse me. So the next day, Wednesday, I get a automated call from the Walgreens. Your prescription won't be available for a couple of days. And I'm like, no, I don't have a couple of days. I need the shit by Friday. So I call the endoscopy place, who in turn call the pharmacy, and back and forth and back and forth. And it comes down to basically Thursday afternoon, I'm about to reschedule the damn procedure for the week after. But that Thursday afternoon, finally, between the doctor and the Walgreens, they give me a substitute and same as equivalent version of what I was going to get in the first place. So they tell me after work Thursday, go get this shit mix. And if you haven't eaten since Wednesday night, we can still do it. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the thing. Let me double back here. The instructions said the night before of the day. So that'd be, it was on Friday. So Wednesday night would be the last time I could have solid food. Or the last time they want me to have solid food. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's not gun to your head, Squid Games bullshit. But I want to do the fucking instructions correctly. So that Thursday night, I made a nice thick cut ham and fucking pepper jack sub on the sourdough roll with lettuce, tomato, onions, Paul Newman's vinegar, what is it? Vinegar and oil dressing, excuse me, and mustard. That's a delicious sandwich. You should try it sometime. But you gotta toast the sourdough and kind of toast the, make the ham kind of curl. Good shit. So that Wednesday was the last time I ate. Now, being a forward thinker, Thursday morning I'm like, I'm not gonna eat today just in the off chance, in the hope and prayer, fucking Hail Mary, last second goddamn play, they get this fucking drug in. So the day before you go in, they say you can have water and you can have liquids that are clear enough to see, like if you hold it up to the light, you can see through the vessel, the cup, the glass, the jar, you can see light through it. So you can have water or tea or coffee, pops, even though they don't want you to have a lot of sugar, and steer clear of like red dyes and blue dyes and purple dyes because it stains the colon. But I got up, I had water, I had tea most of the day, I had water. Just before I'm getting ready to say fuck it, the pharmacy calls and says, we got your shit, it's ready for you to pick up. So I get off work at 4, I go pick the motherfucker up, and I'll show you. The instructions also say I'm supposed to start around 4 and be done by 6 hours. So I got like from 4 to 10 to get all this shit taken care of. Well, this is what they fucking prescribed me to flush out my fucking everything I've ever eaten in my life and shit I might not eat yet, because I'm just now shitting right 2 days later. But they give me this. Or they prescribed me this. They didn't give me, I paid $25 for it. Sodium sulfate, potassium fucking sulfate, magnesium sulfate oral solution. And you might see there it's 6 ounce. It was 2, they're gone now, I threw them away. It was 2 6-ounce bottles. And then you took those 6-ounce bottles, and it came with this little cup also, which I'm going to use for a mixing cup because it says 16 ounces on it. But you poured the shit in here, and then you filled water up to this line right here, which is a 16-ounce line just below the dark part. Mix that shit up. And I'm going to tell you folks, I don't know. It wasn't horrible. But let's just say you took a can or a bottle, like a liter of Dr. Pepper, set it on your counter, and then went to bed, and then in the morning you decided you wanted to finish that Dr. Pepper, and it's gone fucking flat as shit. It's still got Dr. Pepper flavor, but it's not good. That's what this shit was. Even with extra water mixed in, it still had a flat Dr. Pepper taste, and you just said, fuck it, and you killed it. And I had, by the time I got the prescription and got home, I had basically between 4:45 and 10 o'clock to finish this concoction. Killed it. Drank a shit ton of water in there to help. It said, on top of these 2 16-ounce things of this bullshit, you had to have 2 more 32 ounces of water with that, or liquid. And my instructions said the day before the colonoscopy, you had to stop drinking any liquid at midnight. So at 11:55, I took my last sip of water. And let me tell you something, folks. I drink like 3 of them fucking Walmart fucking 16.9 the water, the fucking water in the jar, the fucking these waters. I drink like 3 of these a night because I get cotton mouth, like severe cotton mouth in my sleep. So I get up and just down those and take 2 or 3 pisses, and not a big thing. It is what it is. But this night was fucking torture because you only have so much saliva to swallow back and kill that. And on top of that, of the liquids you can have during that day before, you can't have one of these, so you can't knock yourself fucking out. So good luck staying asleep. But that's the prep. That was all the prep coming up to it. Now we'll get to the morning of. The instructions say you have to have, and it can't be an Uber or a cab, and you can't drive yourself. You have to have a driver who will bring you, and they will sit there the entire time. I assume that means, that is to mean they're not going to abandon you, or they're not going to run down the street to the bar, throw a few back, and come back in, woo, and fucking threaten your life. But you have to have a driver take you. Luckily, both my parents are still alive, and strangely still together in this day and age. That doesn't happen anymore. They picked me up, and they took me there. Appreciate that, love them to death. Oh, and before that, circle back again. Some places, I guess, have you fill out a questionnaire while you're there. This place, Wichita Endoscopy Center, were awesome. They called me like the day before or 2 days before and asked all the questions on the questionnaire on the phone. I just answered on the phone. So when I got there, I didn't have to fill out shit. I went in there, I gave them my ID, I gave them my insurance. I gave them this one little thing, like a release that they sent out with the prescriptions and all that shit. Filled that out, name, address, social, this, that, and the other. The usual shit, sign here, date here. Hand that to them. Check-in was 2 minutes. They have a seat, we'll come out and get you when we're ready. And I was way early. My check-in was 9:45, my procedure was 10. We got there at like 9:30 because there was an ice and snowstorm, so we left way early to get through the shit roads. Checked in early. Sat there for maybe 15, 20 minutes, I don't know, because they were letting people in front of you go out so they could get you in. This guy comes out with his woman, and they're like, Jeremy? I'm like, that's me. And they bring me in. So I go in this little, the usual, you know, you've seen hospitals where you got a bed and you got the little curtain thing that goes around. I go in there, the lady tells me, all right, close the curtain, strip down naked, take the robe, you know, put it on backwards, tie it in the back, and here's some little booties you put on, the little non-slip socks. Even though once you're in bed, you don't get out of bed, so I understand the whole sock situation. Why am I putting on these? Okay, don't care, neither here nor there. She leaves, strip down, put all my stuff in the little closet thing they give you. And I heard her just not 2 seconds ago say, put it on backwards and tie it in the back. But being a creature of habit, I put the fucking thing on wrong, and I'm starting to tie it in the front. I'm like, what the fuck? They're not going to put the goddamn thing through your dick hole. Well, if you do it this way, maybe they will to teach you a lesson. But no, I said, fuck. I may have been audible, might have been in my head, it might have been under my breath, like, fuck. It's more likely a fuck. Because the fucks, I have borderline Tourette's. So I take the robe off, flip it around. You know how hard it is to fucking tie a knot behind your back? It's not easy. But I did it. Put my little gay booties on. Sorry, don't get pissy in the out of the fucking pocket. As my generation used to say that word for things that are ridiculous, and it's hard to break a habit that's sat so far ingrained for decades. I'm working on it. Bear with me, assholes. Get that shit tied up. Scoot the curtain. I'm good. Lady comes in, tells me to sit on the bed, get on the bed, and then does the whole blood pressure. Starts prepping more the only painful part, and it's not that painful. The only painful part of the entire procedure. The entire procedure. Nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be concerned for. Nothing to be apprehensive about. The only painful part, and it's not even that painful. Once they get the temperature and the fucking blood pressure, they got to put an IV in the back of your hand. The only painful part is when they put that needle in, and you see I have had experience with needles. I'm not scared of needles. They put that needle in, do all the takedowns and all that shit, run the fucking tubes and shit. You don't feel it. After a second, the pain goes away. You're in the groove. You're in the cut. They're basically, I would assume, I didn't ask, putting saline or water or some kind of, you haven't had water for over 12 hours at this point, so they're probably putting something in there to kind of lubricate. They go through the whole fucking rigmarole of, do you know your name? Do you know what day it is? Do you know your birthday? Do you know why you're here? Yes. Sign this. Put the little heart monitor, you put the little finger in this thing. It doesn't hurt. It's a little, just keeps your pulse. Up to now, the only pain is right here, and that pain is gone. Trying to bring you down from the ledge, tell you truthfully, step by step. Laying there, then another lady came in my situation anyway, another lady came in, the anesthesiologist came in and explained to me, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take you in there, we're going to put the oxygen thing in your nose, we're going to put the stuff in your IV, it's going to knock you out. And it's not going to take long. And she said the name of it, which I fucking should have researched before, but the prophylactic, the proprietary, the prolapse, the shit that killed Michael Jackson. Pro something. And she said the word, excuse me, she said the word, and I was sitting there in the bed, and she said the word, I was like, is that the stuff that killed Michael Jackson? And she said, yes, it's the Michael Jackson drug. And I was like, oh, well, either way, it's going to be a good day or a great day. And she giggled, and I giggled. And she said, we haven't killed anyone yet. And I was like, well, there's always the first time, and little banter back and forth. You do that when you're nervous, and you might not ever wake up again. Didn't care either way. It would have been shitty for my parents who drove me there, and then would have had to fucking find a way to get my carcass back. Neither here nor there. She tells me that, I sign that, she goes away, and maybe 5-10 minutes later, the lady they come and get me. I'm on the rolling bed. They roll me around the corner, take me into a room where the actual doctor is. And he's he's behind me. I see him like in passing. I roll by him and he's behind me. I don't see him for like 2 seconds of, and then he's like, how you doing today? I'm good, fine. Okay, you know what you're here for. I'm sure he's already recording this shit. You know what you're here for? Yes. Colonoscopy. Your name is, you repeat your name and date of birth and all that shit, so you're on film. And then he's like, do you consent to the procedure I'm about to do? And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm here. And then this guy, fucking fun. It's like, so how were your holidays? This being just after Christmas, January 10th. How were your holidays? And I was like, they're all right. The usual, you spend more than you want to spend. He was like, well, I thought the elves made that stuff for you. I was like, what? He goes, oh, I'd never had Santa on the table before. And I was like, oh, you dirty motherfucker. He was cute. Cute, not cute facially, but cute as in ha 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 ha. I never had sand on the table before, and I was like, oh yeah, I see. Well, I don't get a lot of slightly overweight men with white beards, and I was like, oh, you're slightly overweight, that's okay. You scored points back in the positive. You didn't call me a complete fat ass. That's good. But yeah, I was like, yeah, no, holidays kind of lose their shine when you're the one paying and not the one getting everything for free. And he's like, oh, I understand that. And then the anesthesiologist is like, are you ready? And I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And they turn the lights, like mood lighting to romance lighting. And she goes, okay, I'm going to put this in your IV. And you'll probably wake up, not probably, I'm going to put this in your IV. And when you wake up, you might not recognize where you are because you'll be in the room you came from. I was like, well, challenge accepted. You don't know how many times I pass out, find myself in the room that I wanted to pass out in. But no. She leans over and puts stuff in, and I'm laying there, and I don't even fucking know how long it might have took like 10 seconds. She's like, oh, I'm putting it in now. I'm like, okay. I wake up in the room I came from. I have no recollection at all of anything that happened in the room that I was in. My butthole doesn't hurt. I'm not like, oh. I don't feel like I was violated. There's like no blood anywhere. I wake up laying on my side. They want you to lay on your left side. I guess that's where the fart box is. They said, when you wake up, you lay on your left side, and we're gonna keep you here until you expel enough gas that we're happy for. So I guess the backup prior to the prophylactic going in my arm, the Propecia, whatever the fuck the drug is, the knockout drug, the Michael Jackson drug. She said, you need to stay on your left side because sometimes when we go in there, there's excess air gets in there, and you might feel a little crampy, so you need to lay on your left side for a while until you fart some of that out or belch it out or both, like I still am. And they explain, then when you get home, you need to set up, like move around. You need to move your body around so farts come out. We'll get back to that in a minute. We're back in the room where I wake up. I wake up on my left side. I feel the most relaxed and most at peace I've ever felt waking up in my entire life. This was the first time I woke up and I was like, fuck! Because I woke up. Usually when I wake up, I was like, God damn it! Fucking hell! But this was like, oh shit. Oh yeah, I was in this room a little while ago. It was less than 30 minutes. I thought it had been like a night. Come to find out, I was in there. They took less than half an hour to knock the whole. Well, the large intestine only runs so far. But less than half an hour they had done. They went in, and they found like 3 or 4 polyps, and took those out. And they're going to send them off for biopsy to see if I actually have any real cancer. But at this point, I don't. But it's like Schrodinger's cat from Big Bang Theory. I don't, but yet I could. But at this point, I don't. And I don't know how close I can get these to the TV. So I'll hold them back here. And if you have, make sure I don't have my socials or anything. These are the pictures of my insides. I'm not going to bring them up there to get anyone in trouble, but they pointed out polyps to me. It all looks the same, but I guess they took 3 or 4 out, and I have been shitting better and shitting in one length instead of shotgun blast. So I assume one of those polyps was like a fucking thumb over the hose making my shits come out in spurts. Now it's just shit away. It's Play-Doh factory again, like I was fucking in my 20s. I'm enjoying it. Have no idea what the bill's going to be. It's coming, but I got supplemental insurance. I'm just going to pay the majority of that off. And I got retirement I can pull out of. But okay, you're not here for the financials. I'm laying there on my side. Or the nurse comes in, tells me we're going to, and she's right, here's the curtain. She's right on the other side of the camera. She's like 10 feet away. I'm going to lay here and listen. Or she's not going to lay there. I'll be out here at the desk doing your follow-up. I'll listen when I hear what I think is enough. I'm like, well, what if I'm, in my head, I'm like, well, what if I'm doing SBD, silent but deadly? What if I'm farting but you can't hear it? No, you can hear it. I'm laying in there. Blah, blah, the air's coming out. And after about 5 minutes, she's like, oh, well, I think you're good. And this is the first, let's see, this is damn near 12 hours after the last sip of liquid I've had. She comes in. Now, before we let you go, you need to drink something to make sure you can keep it down and not get sick. Would you like, she starts out, would you like water or coffee or pop? Or, and I stopped her right there. She said, water, coffee, water. All I want is water. All I've wanted for the last 12 hours is water. And she brought me in a little thing of water with a straw, which I hate straws. But and I was like, I told her, this is honestly the best goddamn water. I might not have said goddamn, but I was like, this is honestly the best water I've ever had in my entire life. This is all I wanted for the last 12 hours. And she's like, hee hee, pink. Whenever I hear a lady laugh and she seems to be enthused by what I say, I, in my mind, psychologically hear her nipples go pink. She's like, hee hee hee, pink. So, hold on. Still coming out. Here, have some. Enjoy. Then she comes in. She's okay. She brings my clothes over. I could have got those myself. I'm like, well, that's a little suspect. You bring my clothes over with my boxers on top. I got a feeling maybe you were having a little. No, she's a nice lady. That's not an exaggeration. It was on top, but I don't think she was getting nose deep in them. And if she was, she's a braver man than I. She says, all right, put your clothes on, and when you're ready, open the curtain, and you can leave. And then she's like, oh, and those little blue silly socks with the shit on the bottom, you can keep those. And I was like, yay! Give me a 75-cent, here you go, to the probably fucking $1,000 bill that's coming down the street. I don't know how much it's going to be, folks. I don't know. I got insurance. I got supplemental insurance. No edits, no cuts. We'll see what's going to come out of pocket for me. Could be nothing. Could be something. I don't know. All I know is I feel better. And now I know that to right now, until they give me the biopsy results, I'm not dying of colon cancer. And then I went out, and as I said, you had to have your ride there. They were there. They didn't fucking abandon me. And honestly, let me tell you something here. Had it been a day that wasn't, we didn't just go through an ice and snowstorm where driving would be a little more tricky, had it been just a regular dry day, I don't think I would have had a problem driving home. It was no worse. I had no worse of a feeling than a low-grade buzz. I mean, I've had half a beer and drove to the store to get ingredients for shit that I forgot to get and came back. Not a big problem. It was about like that. But in this situation, I thank God I had a ride, because I would not have made it back on those fucking roads. And I understand they're trying to look out for themselves and their insurance and their liability and shit. So let's bring it all back. Let's recap, because I'm getting ready to take a piss and I'm just not trying to run on forever. Colonoscopy. Should you get one or not? I'm just telling you in my situation and my experience, it was great. Wichita Endoscopy Center. That's Wichita, Kansas, not Wichita Falls. Fuck that place. Fuck that place to hell. Wichita is the only Wichita fucking lineman still on the job. All kinds of songs that have Wichita in them because it's a great goddamn city, and if you don't think so, then get the fuck out and never come back. But Big Dub KS. But yes, if you need to have, or it's been suggested you have a colonoscopy, quit being a fucking child. You go in, they put you to sleep, you wake up, you're done. A lot of folks may say the day after or during the day of and the day after, oh, I felt crampy and all that shit. There is probably excess air in there. But in my lifestyle, I'm farting up. You just saw. I'm farting and belching all the fucking time. I don't fucking retain excess air and shit. I didn't cramp once. My butthole doesn't hurt at all. There's no blood. I actually felt better than I did. So, if you're apprehensive and dragging your feet to get one, now I don't know about financially, you may not have the means to do it or whatnot, but I don't even know what the fuck it's going to be when I get it. I hope it's within reason that I can knock that shit out with what I got. But financially, I can see no. But any other reason, if you're just scared, don't be. I went through it. I came out. I'm still straight. They didn't hit the gay button in my butthole like I almost jokingly asked, now you're not going to hit the gay button. I don't want to start over again. I'm not as cute as I was back in the day when I could get a sugar daddy. Don't get mad. Jokes, folks. Come on. But yeah, don't be scared. Go get it done. If nothing else, you'll have peace of mind. With that, I don't really have much left to add. I'm going to finish this beverage here. And I got a few of those. Well, it's not a cooking video, but I'll show you food. Fucking bullshit. Oh, and the tea's done. Excuse me. Still, I got me some Johnsonville cheddar brats thawing out. That's going to be tonight's dinner. And I do got to take a big old piss. So hopefully this will persuade you to go get your insides looked, get your shit pushed in, as it were, training day. As always, with love and choose your preference. Peace, folk. Peace, bitches. About to piss my pants. I'm out.